The air in the Las Vegas courtroom was so charged that you could cut it with a knife. There wasn't a free seat to be had. And even out in the hallway, reporters crept forward, perching on their toes in hopes of catching a whisper of the verdict. Cameras weren't permitted in the courtroom, but when the clerk spoke the decision aloud, you could hear the shock ripple, an almost silent gasp that resonated through the crowded room. Mary Brown and Janelle Brown are hereby awarded judgment. Robyn's manicured fingers, which had been wrapped around her lawyer's arm, fell limp. Every drop of color left her face. She looked at Cody, blinking furiously, nearly begging him to say it wasn't true. But Cody stood transfixed, his eyes far away, his mouth open like a man who had just been informed his house was being engulfed in quicksand. The verdict was harsh. The court had held the $1.20, $2 million, Flagstaff Mansion, and other properties Cody had transferred to Robyn as fraudulent actions designed to withhold the assets from Mary and Janelle when they requested their portion. The judge decreed that the mansion be seized and auctioned off, the funds going straight to Mary and Janelle. As the reality sank in, Robyn's breathing became labored. She lost her house, her economic security, and if gossip from Mary's attorney was to be believed, her public reputation was going to take a tremendous blow. 2 weeks after that, Flagstaff residents were treated to an unexpected sight. A moving truck parked in front of Robyn's mansion. Decked out in an oversized hoodie and leggings, her hair scraped into a sloppy bun, Robyn stood in the driveway with tears streaming down her face, instructing the movers. Cardboard boxes were piled randomly. Some marked kitchen, kids' rooms, and one in large, bold letters. Legal papers, do not lose. Outside across the street, neighbors crossed the sidewalk, exchanging whispers. She always thought she was better than us all, one of them whispered. Now see her now. Cody stood beside the truck, kicking gravel, grumbling to himself. His blonde curls were slick with sweat, his face pale and hollow. The man who used to compare himself to a lion defending its pride looked like he'd lost. As the eviction officer arrived, his tone was courteous but firm. You have until 4 p.m. to leave the premises. Robyn's jaw clenched. This is not fair, she snapped, her voice trembling. The court order stands. Ma'am, the officer said unflinchingly. Only 300 yards away, in her newly remodeled mansion, Mary sipped coffee and scrolled down on her phone, reading today's headlines. Robyn loses mansion in court ruling. Sister Wives star faces eviction. Her phone rang. It was Janelle, her voice nearly radiating through the receiver. Have you seen it? Mary reclined in her chair with a conniving grin. Oh, I've seen it. For years Mary had been pushed aside in her own marriage as Robyn monopolized Cody's attention and resources. Now, the roles were reversed. She thought she could bury us under those phony tears. Mary sneered. Well, she's really crying now. Something in Cody appeared to break after the eviction. Friends noticed him cruising around Flagstaff at odd times, parked in his car outside restaurants but never entering. He informed TLC producers that he required time to regroup and stopped filming. Although crew members gossiped, he was simply too humiliated to appear in front of cameras. When a tabloid journalist asked whether Mary and Janelle had actually won, Cody exploded. They didn't win. The whole family lost. It's a corrupt system. But he knew in his heart that he'd been outsmarted. Mary and Janelle had retained a forensic accountant who painstakingly documented the part played by Robyn in the questionable property transfers. The proof was irrefutable, leaving Cody's defense to lie in tatters. 2 months on, Robyn occupied a modest rental on the outskirts of Flagstaff. The grand staircase, manicured gardens, and expansive walk-in closets were a thing of the past. Instead, she spent her days ironing laundry in a cramped living room as the children argued over schoolwork. Cody, resentful and withdrawn, had begun sleeping alone in a different room. Even paying next month's rent was a stretch. While this, Mary and Janelle were doing just fine. They transferred their wealth into personal trusts, protected their finances, and for the first time in years, lived life on their own terms. The wealth was pleasant, certainly, But the true triumph was seeing Robyn endure the public humiliation she once thought she was above. 3 weeks following the eviction, Robyn huddled over her laptop in the dingy light of her kitchen, amidst a ring of empty coffee cups. Her eyes were puffy from crying for hours and plotting. On the table was a yellow legal pad riddled with hasty notes. File defamation lawsuit, dig up dirt on Mary and Janelle leverage TLC contract. When Cody lurched in the same hoodie for days, his tone was bitter. What is all this? It's how we fight back, Robyn replied, shaking with resolve. We are not going to sit here and have them dance on our graves. I'll make sure the world knows who they really are. Cody merely rubbed his temples. They want us to get desperate and crazy. Don't give them that. Disregarding his caution, Robyn contacted a gossip blogger she had met while attending a TLC press junket. The blogger offered her an exclusive sympathetic piece in return for on-the-record quotes. 2 days later, the front page headline blared, Robyn Brown speaks out, betrayed by her sister wives. Robyn accused Mary and Janelle of scheming for years to destroy her marriage and reputation. She threatened dark secrets without elaboration, counting on unsubstantiated claims to create doubt in the minds of the public. For 48 hours it succeeded. Social media exploded with angry arguments and a few faithful followers defended her. Then Mary fought back. After holding her tongue throughout the entire thing, Mary went live on Instagram. Hair newly styled, blazer creased razor sharp, and the look on her face said it all. She was back to win. Does Robyn wish to discuss betrayal? Mary's voice was quiet, smooth, near cold. That's great. Let's discuss. Over the next half hour, Mary took Robyn's accusations apart, bit by bit. She produced real receipts documenting Robyn's involvement in the illicit property transfers, as well as text messages in which Robyn had encouraged Cody to act fast before they realize it. Mary concluded with one sharp sentence. I didn't destroy Robyn's life. She did it to herself when she chose greed over family. The live stream went through the roof. #by Robyn and #Mary wins trending by night. The next morning, Robyn woke up to find that her phone was hell. Angry DMs flooded in, memes ridiculed her. A going viral TikTok even reshared an older Sister Wives clip of her sobbing, now with the caption, after losing the house she stole. Brands that had previously sent her complimentary merchandise stopped responding to her messages in an understated manner. Even TLC's own Twitter updates had the effect of thrusting Mary and Janelle into the limelight while Robyn receded into obscurity. Cody was angry. I told you not to prod the bear, he shouted. Now you've got them portrayed as angels and us as fibbers. Robyn's second action was brazen and catastrophic. She appeared uninvited at a public charity event where Mary and Janelle were featured speakers. There were cameras everywhere. Mary saw her, smiled benignly, and announced loudly enough to be heard through microphones. Oh look, the eviction tour continues. The audience laughed. Robyn stood there, immobile. The noise slapped her in the face. She quit before the speeches had even started. Only then realizing the truth, her revenge scheme hadn't damaged Mary and Janelle in any way. It destroyed her own reputation. On one Tuesday morning, there came an email with the following subject line. Contract review, urgent. Robyn and Cody were instructed to appear at TLC's Flagstaff production office. Inside a conference room, Dana, a sharp, no-nonsense network executive, slid a document across the table. We've been reviewing the show's direction, she said. Over the past year, audience sentiment has changed drastically. Robyn, you're now the most disliked cast member on Sister Wives. That's not fair, Robyn blurted. Mary and Janelle are lying about me. Dana didn't flinch. The numbers don't lie. When you're on screen, ratings drop. When you're not, they go up. Advertisers notice. The verdict: TLC was considering phasing Robyn out mid-season, or giving her a short farewell storyline. Back in the car, Robyn sobbed. They want to get rid of me. Cody held onto the steering wheel with white-knuckle intensity. If they cut me, I'm finished too, he growled. But he knew deep down that losing the show was to lose their sole source of regular income. He rang Dana that evening. We can be managed. We're a package deal. Her response was frosty. Then we might have to cut the package. 7 days later, the legal team at TLC forwarded Cody a confidential offer, If he consented to shoot without Robyn and restore his relationships with Mary, Janelle, and Christine, he could remain on the show. Robyn blanched when she read it. So they're asking you to choose between the show and me? Cody didn't respond immediately, and the silence was more eloquent than words. Mary learned about TLC's scheme through a producer friend. She didn't gloat publicly, but on Instagram, she did put up a cryptic photo of herself sitting on her inn's porch with the caption, "Some things just work themselves out." Robyn's mentions were flooded with fans tagging her in thousands of comments. She couldn't turn a blind eye to the rumors anymore. 2 nights prior to the due date of Cody's decision, tension within the rental reached its zenith. Robyn walked the living room, sobbing openly. "If you accept that offer, you're telling me I was just a prop to further your career," she shouted. "And if I don't, we'll be broke in 6 months," snapped Cody. They argued at midnight, round and round, until Cody slammed the spare room door. Robyn finally understood that she might lose him, not to another wife, but to the cameras that had made her feel so above everyone else. The sun was only just starting to rise by the time Cody sat at the kitchen table, contract on the paper in front of him. Robyn sat opposite him, eyes puffy from another night of no sleep. "Don't do this," she whispered. "Yes, I do," he said in a flat tone, taking the pen. She gasped as he signed, "Not with Robyn." "You used me for just a paycheck," she said, tears cracking. Cody didn't glance up. "I sold us both out so we wouldn't live on ramen for a year." TLC didn't waste any time. In 48 hours, entertainment websites were abuzz. Cody Brown to reunite with ex-wives in daring new season. That one word, former, was a deliberate dig. Montages side by side featured Robyn's tearful sit-downs juxtaposed with vintage footage of Cody giggling with Mary and Janelle. For the first promo shoot, TLC shot at Mary's bed and breakfast. Cameras captured Mary and Janelle having coffee on the porch, flipping through albums, and giggling with each other. A reporter asked Mary if it felt the same to work with Cody again. "It's great to work with people who actually appreciate family," she said graciously. Janelle added, "And it's good the show's concentrating on the actual history, not distractions." Everyone knew Robyn was the distraction. From inside her car, Robyn recorded an emotional Instagram video. "They're rewriting the truth," she cried. "They're trying to erase me from the family's story. I'm Cody's wife. I was his wife." Robyn's emotional Instagram video failed to hit the mark. Instead of sympathy, it was flooded with popcorn gifs, laughing emojis, and snarky reminders of her loss in court. Even her staunchest supporters were exhausted by the drama. TLC made their point perfectly clear in the first episode of the new season. Upbeat music sounded as Cody walked into Mary's inn, hugging both Mary and Janelle warmly. The next shot, Robyn sitting in her rental, looking out the window in silence. The ratings went through the roof. Twitter exploded with #TeamMary and #TeamJanelle, and the ridicule #PoorRobyn became a recurring joke. Back in that tiny rental house, Robyn was struck with the bitter truth. For years she'd considered herself queen bee of the Brown family. Now, she was merely a supporting actress in someone else's fairy tale. This season's drama soon shifted to a sleek downtown Flagstaff law office, where Robyn sat across from Vanessa Cortez, a sharp, confident attorney who didn't hide her skepticism. Robyn slid a TLC press release across the table. "They can't just cut me out. I've been on this show for years. I'm part of its history." Vanessa bent forward. "Legally, yes, they can." But she hesitated. "If you can demonstrate your dismissal was part of an orchestrated campaign to destroy your reputation, perhaps we do have a case." Robyn's eyes sparkled. "Mary and Janelle. They've been against me for years." Within a week, Robyn was threatening to sue TLC for emotional distress, wrongful removal, and defamation. The network opened a thick legal envelope marked "Notice." Inside, she also threatened to release behind-the-scenes documents, records of scripted scenes, producer manipulation, and personal misconduct. The threat hit TLC like a grenade. Some execs wanted to quietly settle. Others said she was bluffing. Dana, the same executive who'd iced her out before, was blunt. "If she wants to play hardball, we'll hit back harder." When Cody found out about the lawsuit, he exploded. "You're suing TLC? That's the only thing keeping us afloat," he shouted, pacing like a caged animal. "They made me look bad," Cody. And you let them, Robyn retorted. He pounded his fist on the counter. You're going to ruin our last lifeline. Neighbors subsequently reported to the press that they'd heard yelling and even shattering glass the night before. Fearing vulnerability, Mary and Janelle went into full public relations mode. In a Dual People magazine interview, they discussed truth and transparency in the show. Enough drama without creating more, Mary said bluntly. It's difficult for some to move on. Janelle chimed in. The article portrayed them as tough survivors, and Robyn as resentful and thankless. TLC's attorneys called Robyn's bluff, accelerating her deposition. While under oath, she acknowledged that much of what she had said about Mary and Janelle was suspicion, not fact. Worse, the network's lawyers brought out text messages revealing Robyn had actually requested producers to manipulate some scenes so that she could appear sympathetic. The legal team departed the deposition nearly smiling. The revelation of that testimony was savage. Headlines blared. Robyn Brown's TLC case collapses and caught fibbing under oath. Her final clutch of supporters disappeared in the night. Sponsors pulled out. Some extended family members refused to answer her calls. Cody, humiliated, began staying out for nights at a stretch. Rumors circulated that he was sleeping in a guest room in Mary's bed and breakfast. Social media went wild. TLC milked the chaos for the finale. While Cody filmed in another city with Mary and Janelle, cameras showed Robyn alone at her kitchen table, surrounded by overdue bills. I thought I'd be the last wife standing, she said, tears running down her cheeks. Now, the family's story doesn't even include me. The episode closed with Robyn, back in the dark apartment, watching on her phone as Cody, Mary, and Janelle laughed together at a restaurant. A picture far removed from the self-assured woman she once was. The last thing heard, her stifled tears. The second season began with a stark picture. Robyn in a darkened kitchen at 2 a.m., standing over the counter eating cold cereal out of the box. Her sweater was splattered, her hair disheveled. Piles of unread bills, some with the final notice stamp on them, lay heaped on the counter. The unsuccessful lawsuit had bleached her coffers. With the majority of family funds invested in Mary and Janelle's businesses, even Cody's TLC checks no longer did much good. The network had negotiated away all of her future earnings, as a breach of contract. In a private confessional, Robyn confessed, I thought being quiet and sweet would save me. Now I know, nobody's going to save me. She was determined to lose the villain reputation. Robyn started a new social media initiative, Second Chances with Robyn. She recorded herself going thrift shopping, baking cookies with her children, and discussing humility and second chances. She got some initial support from a handful of fans, but then there were the comments calling her out for fake tears and sympathy bait. The actual punch came when she grumbled about the cost of groceries while sporting a gold Cartier bracelet she'd not removed. The clip went viral for all the wrong reasons. A rainy afternoon. Robyn's phone rang. She didn't recognize the number. She almost let it go until she heard the voice. Robyn, it's Christine. This was the woman who had branded her manipulative on national television. But Christine's voice was surprisingly even. I believe we can assist one another, she told him. Visit me. No cameras. They had agreed to meet at a little cafe on the outskirts of town. Christine pushed a manila envelope along the table. It contained photocopies of some of the original production schedules, unfilmed log pages, and parts of Cody's off-the-record talks with TLC executives. Stuff never seen on TV. It could ruin Cody's entire Golden Boys reputation, Christine said bluntly. And if we stage the leak correctly, we both gain. Robyn squinted. Why would you assist me? Christine leaned back, cup of coffee in front of her, a shadow of a smile tugging at her lips. Because I don't want to see him win. And currently you're the only person crazy enough to commit to me for the long haul. The two forged a secret agreement, but on one condition from Robyn: Mary and Janelle couldn't find out what was brewing. For the next month they met behind closed doors, exchanging memos and burrowing into their personal files. Robyn was stunned by what Christine had gathered: ancient receipts, first-hand accounts, and evidence that Cody had yelled at crew members, belittled his own kids off camera, and even attempted to have certain relatives edited out of deals for a larger paycheck for himself. One night, as Robyn paged through the stack of evidence, she breathed softly. This is nuclear. Christine's eyes sparkled. Exactly. One morning, Entertainment Tonight broke a bombshell exclusive. Sister Wives leaked footage exposes Cody Brown's on-camera temper. Bits of Cody screaming at a producer, taunting one of his children, and making fun of Mary went viral in hours. The internet blew up. Hashtags such as #BrownFamilyTruth and #CodyExposed reached the top of trending charts. TLC hurried to try to do damage control. Despite Mary and Janelle issuing public denials of their association with Cody, the damage had been done. During the season finale, Cody caught up with Robyn in the living room of their rental home. His voice trembled as he stated, "You did this." Robyn didn't deny it. "Cody, you left me with nothing. I told you corner someone hard enough. They'll fight back." From off down the hall, Christine popped in on cue, ready for the cameras to catch the moment. She and Robyn shared a look of mutual contentment. The episode ended with a close-up shot of Cody's face, half realization, half anger. In Los Angeles, TLC executives met with the gleam in their eyes of high-rolling gamblers. Leaked footage had driven ratings through the roof. What did they want now? More drama, and they wanted it on camera. The plan was ruthless. Bring everyone together for a multi-day filmed reunion called the Brown Family Truth Summit. The host job: get Cody, Robyn, Mary, Janelle, and Christine to spill everything, live and unfiltered. Dana, the CEO who'd once removed Robyn from the show, summed it up: "We're not just giving fans closure, we're giving them a spectacle they'll never forget." The invitation wasn't optional. Skip it and you'd be in breach of contract and lose your paycheck. Mary and Janelle accepted instantly, sensing another win. Christine hesitated for a few seconds, just long enough to savor the thought of delivering the knockout blow on camera. Robyn read her letter 3 times, hands trembling. "It's a trap," she muttered. Cody just growled, "If we don't appear, we're finished. At least this way, we get paid." The show was held at an upscale Sedona resort. The stage was a cross between intimate therapy circle and high-stakes boxing ring, upholstered chairs, warm lighting and cameras all over, even suspended overhead to capture every blink and glare. Seasoned investigative host Leif Foster got it started. "We're here to burn the bridge or clear the air. Either way, the truth's coming out." The first day was civil but charged, smiles concealing daggers. Everyone knew the explosion was imminent. On day 2, Christine dished first. "Cody, can we discuss the time you told producers Mary was a waste of camera time?" Gasps. Cody reddened. "That's out of context." Christine interrupted him. "It's in context. I have the audio." She clicked play. Cody's voice dominated the space, mocking Mary's company and labeling it a dead end. Mary sat back with a chilly smile of satisfaction. Not to be upstaged, Mary produced a color-coded folder. "Since we're sharing, here's evidence of every money transfer you made to Robyn while we're being told there's nothing left by the rest of us." She read out the numbers, each one a body blow. Robyn shifted awkwardly, eyes darting to Cody, who seemed to shrink further into his chair. 1. Leif leaned forward. "Robyn, did you know the others had no idea about these transfers?" Robyn's voice trembled. "I didn't think it was my business to ask." Across the room, Christine gave a harsh, knowing laugh. By the final day, the gloves had come off. Janelle blamed Cody for pitting wife against wife in order to maintain control. "You can't lead without destroying what you're leading," she told him. Robyn, on the defensive, turned on Mary. "You were cold to me from the beginning." Mary replied quickly, "I was cold because you came at me with a knife and a smile." The yelling grew louder until Leif intervened between them. The season concluded in disarray. Cody tore off his mic and stormed away, slamming the lodge doors so hard the cameras rattled. Mary, Janelle, and Christine stood united, nearly laughing as Robyn ran after him in tears. The closing shot, the 3 women walking into the Sedona sunset, Robyn's sobs fading behind them. Following the credits, TLC previewed next season. A peaceful winter morning at Robyn's rental was interrupted by the sound of crunching tires. From behind the blinds, she watched a county sheriff's SUV and 2 officers in uniform arrive with a court order. "Mrs. Brown, the property is being repossessed today. You have to vacate today." Robyn's mouth fell open. "No, it can't be. I appealed." The officer shook his head. "The judge threw it out yesterday." We're here to serve the order. Down the hall came the sound of her children's voices, just as Robyn saw the cameras. TLC had been recording everything all along. Across town, however, Mary and Janelle sat in a cozy wood-paneled office, signing papers in contented silence. The lawyer pushed the final documents across the shiny table, his smile keen. "It's official," he told her. "The court has given you both joint ownership of the Coyote Pass lots, along with sole legal control of the family's media royalties. The same royalties Cody sold off to Robyn's LLC." Mary settled back, tone low but with a ring of triumph. Good to have the truth acknowledged after all these years of being ignored. Janelle laughed, her first real laugh in months. Robyn's been running this family like her personal business. Today that ends. Outside the courthouse, a wall of reporters waited. Cameras flashed. Mary didn't hesitate. "We're done being quiet," she said, locking eyes with the lenses. By the time Robyn packed her last suitcase into a rented pickup truck, the media frenzy was in full swing. Neighbors peeked from doorways as local news crews lined the street. Then Cody arrived, worn leather jacket, hair whipping in the wind, eyes scanning for danger. "This is harassment," he barked at the press. "You're vultures." A journalist snapped back. "Cody, did the court actually find you and Robyn guilty of financial mismanagement?" He came to a standstill. Robyn's expression wiped clean. "Everything's being distorted," she protested, voice shattering. "All we wanted to do was protect our family." She brushed her tears away and whispered, "They've stolen everything from me." They drove away a few moments later into the mayhem. At the same time, Mary and Janelle were closeted in a publishing house boardroom, negotiating terms on a dual memoir. The editor leaned forward. "We'll need it all. Books of accounts, personal letters, what happens behind the scenes information. Are you prepared to have Robyn and Cody sue us?" Janelle smiled. "Let them. The truth is the best defense." They started gathering years' worth of receipts. Suspicious PayPal donations to Robyn's business account, scribbled notes, bank transfers. With each piece of paper, the tale was darker. In a cluttered two-bedroom apartment on the edge of town, Robyn loaded mismatched plates into the cabinet in silence. Cody strode back and forth at the window. "They're waiting for us, waiting for one slip-up." Robyn's voice cracked. "Cody, they already have you." He turned on her, fury flashing. "Don't you dare try to blame this on me." The battle continued until the walls creaked, spilling onto the frigid night air. Producers reported neighbors, saying they could still hear Robyn crying long after the yelling had ended. The four women, Mary, Janelle, Cody, and Robyn, finally stood face to face with one another on a TLC reunion special. Mary didn't hesitate. "You pushed us away, Robyn. You used Cody to exert control, and you stole from your own family." The court concurs. Robyn's face turned pale. "I loved this family. I was trying to save it." "Save it?" Janelle interrupted. "You drained it of blood." Online discussion blew up. Hashtags #Robyn exposed and #Team Mary. Janelle trended for hours. When the credits finished, it was obvious Cody and Robyn's public reputation was irreparably damaged.